It sounds like it's going to be different for each person depending on what they want. And it starts with the member to make sure that they have a very clear picture of what they want to have happen for themselves. Mm-hmm. And then to find the place that is going to service that. And on the other side of that, it's making sure that ownership and staff are doing everything that they can to identify who they want to be, who they're going to serve and how they're going to do it, and to create the professional environment and processes necessary to make people feel like a well taken care of customer.
At Active Life, we believe that the healthcare clinic of the future is the gym.
Everybody starts with the best case scenario in mind.
Never sell anything to anybody who is not in the market for what you have.
The only reason we work out is to create the opportunity to recover.
And the healthcare provider of the future is the coach.
And this is why you guys need to get paid well, because what you're doing is really, really hard work.
What's up, Active Lifers, and welcome back to another episode of Turning Pro on the Active Life Podcast. I'm Larry Gaier, and we're here with Dr. Sean Pastuch.
What's up, guys?
What are the red flags in a gym? How do you know that you ought to consider maybe a different gym because of some of the things that are going on here? And on the other side of that, what are the signs of an extremely healthy, extremely positive gym that you should really consider joining? If you were a coach or a trainer or even just an enthusiast who is in an awesome gym and you were communicating to family members across the country or world the kind of gym that they should look for, how would you describe it? What would it have? What wouldn't it have? Right? How would you describe the exact kind of gym that you would never want your mother to join? Today we're going to get into that. What are the hallmarks of a really good gym? And what are the ones that you should maybe consider avoiding?
Yeah, and I think this happens a lot. I think that this is one of the things that anybody who is in the fitness industry has a family member who lives not local to them, who says, I'm looking to join a gym. Like, what do you think? Can you help me pick one out? And innately, there is something through the experience of being in the industry that you look for when you go to the websites, when you follow their Instagram, when you look on their podcast, if they have one, that you're looking for something that stands out to you, that you can't necessarily explain very easily to your aunt who lives 40 minutes away or, 4,000 miles away. And I think that we want to make this podcast for you today so that when your family member says to you, hey, what gym should I join? What should I be looking for in a gym? You can just send them this podcast.
Love it. So let's talk about what makes an awesome gym. And on the other side of this, ideally, gym owners around here who maybe they're doing a lot of these things right already, good for you. And maybe you guys see some opportunity to clean up some easy things for yourselves. On the other side of that, you might find that you have a list of some of what we consider to be red flags. And you might find that, oh man, I can really squeeze a lot out of this. And for members, coaches, and gym owners alike, we're hoping that you can find what the most ripe environment for opportunity is, not only for the member, staff, but also ownership, because that's always what we're looking for. We're looking for a win-win-win.
Yeah, and I want to also express that we're not talking about commercial gyms right now. We're not grouping into this conversation places like Planet Fitness, Equinox,
Boutique
Crunch.
gyms.
Yeah, because those places, what you're looking for effectively, in my mind, is cleanliness. Period. They all have the same crap after that.
Okay. So, Dr. Sean, can you walk us through what you believe are the hallmarks of a fantastic gym?
Well, that's a wide-ranging question.
Well, we got 20 minutes.
Okay. Deal. Let's start here. I think that before we discuss the hallmarks of a great gym, we need to discuss the hallmarks of the person who's looking to access the great gym. Because the gym that I would be looking for to join personally would be different than the gym that my wife would be looking to join, for example, or my parents would be looking to join potentially. The first thing that you need to be able to do before you join a gym is really sit down and identify, why do I want to join a gym? What am I looking to get out of this experience? Am I looking to change the way that my body looks and feels? Am I looking to change the way that I perform? Or am I just thinking like, I should live a healthier life, I guess I should go to a gym? Because the reality is you might be better off picking up an active hobby than joining a gym.
Right.
and I think that a lot of people end up in gyms because they think they're supposed to be there when maybe they'd be better off joining a rock climbing place. Maybe they'd be better off joining an ice skating rink. Like there's a million things that you can do that have nothing to do with a gym that will get you fitness.
So right off the bat, audit your intention and what you're looking to have happen really for yourself.
Yes, exactly. So if you're saying, look, I need to overhaul my life and I really want to go to a place where somebody can guide me through transforming effectively. I want to be a different person. I want to be a better version of myself. Then you're going to find yourself in a gym. I think that's the crux of what you need to believe is important before you start joining a gym. Otherwise, dabble. Like go try jujitsu. Go try a boxing club, a kickboxing club. Go try a rock climbing studio. Find out what you like. Think of a thing that you're like, man, that was fun. I want to go back tomorrow. Do that. If you're in the mode of life where you're feeling like you need somebody to help guide you through a transformation that you couldn't otherwise do on your own that goes beyond you having a hobby, well then now we're talking about what makes a great gym. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Okay. So the first thing I think that you want to look for in a great gym is cleanliness. I know it seems silly, but when you walk into a gym, the first thing that you should be thinking is not, oh man, this place is a little bit grimy.
Like, so we're talking about making your bed, right?
Yeah. But it seems simple. It's not. Like it's not just about vacuuming the floor. It's about, do you have lost and found effectively splayed around the front of the building? Or do you have a place where the stuff goes? Do you have a front desk that is, it doesn't have to be a big, expensive, grandiose granite countertop front desk, but do you have a place where somebody can be greeted? And is that place clean enough that if they wanted to put their arms on it, they're not going to feel like the last person's sweat is still there or the dust from the roof is still there? If they're walking, the thing about cleanliness is this: nobody notices a clean gym. No one walks in and is like, wow, this place is really clean. The value of cleanliness is it's not dirty.
Everyone notices a dirty one.
Yes. And people will tolerate it. And there are people who will, pin their machismo to their chest and be like, we're not here for cleanliness, bro. We're here for fitness. Cool. You're not our audience. Cleanliness is number one. The second thing I would be looking for is, do they have a business or do they have a gym? And we can do an entire podcast on this topic. I think that in fitness, there's a lot of resistance, if you will, to running a good business. Because the thought is, if I think about this place as a business and I stop thinking about the people who come into it and the way that I can best serve them, the reality is the reason why good businesses do well is because people do want certainty. They do want consistency. They do want process. They do want to be considered as a customer. Good business practices give somebody that level of comfort when they walk into a business. So how do you know if they're a business or if they're a gym? Well, when you walk in, is somebody greeting you? Are they putting you through a process? Are they asking you to fill out a form, have a seat? We'll chat with you in a minute. Are they asking you to schedule an appointment? Are they giving you a tour? What was that experience like? When you called, did it go straight to voicemail? Did you get a call back? When you emailed, did they respond? These are little things that it's a really simple way to screen out the gyms who aren't taking their business seriously.
And not only what was the process, but how did the process feel for you? What was it like interacting with this person?
Yes, exactly. So those are the two really big non-fitness, non-coaching things that I think need to be accounted for before even considering a gym. And the unfortunate thing about that is that I believe there are some really great coaches out there who could really help people who are not running businesses. And so they have dirty places with a bunch of clutter all over the place, no process. And they think that being a great coach, like being able to elicit the result from the client is what it's all about. And it's not because the client needs to feel comfortable every time they come into the gym. They need to be comfortable. They can refer their friends. You follow me?
I follow you.
So once those two things are established, and the way you can establish them is really simple, by the way. Call them. Do they answer? No. Does their voicemail resonate as intentional? Or is it like the voicemail that came with the machine? Do they say something like, don't leave a message, we don't check it? If those are the things that are happening, just put this gym off your list. It's not where you want to be. Unless if the voicemail says, hey, please don't leave a message. Instead, we'd prefer you to email us where we can get back to you more quickly.
Right. So what you're pointing out here, to make sure I'm clear and to make sure that all of us are clear, is you're looking for a business who is showing you that they have put processes in place to make it easier for you to be a well taken care of customer.
Yeah, because if they put processes in place to allow you to sign up, they also put processes in place more likely to keep you safe, to make sure you get your results. That's important. So the next thing after that is, I believe that the next thing to choosing a gym becomes, are you drawn to the type of environment and experience that somebody who goes to that gym gets? Now, there are a lot of options for gyms that someone can go to. There are CrossFit gyms. There are Orange Theory gyms. There are Fit Bodies. There are Metabolics. There are a wide array of brands that you can walk into. Then there's the everyday personal training studio. There's the small sole proprietor fitness studio, like our friend Karina, who owns K-Fit down in Valley Stream here in New York. She's not tied to a bigger brand. When you walk in, does it feel like the kind of experience that you want? Do you want to be lifting heavy weights? Like, is that something that's appealing to you? Avoid making the decision about, do I like lifting heavy weights or not, without having done it. But ask yourself, do I think I would like to be able to? And if the answer is no, if you're just totally disinterested in it, then avoid going to a CrossFit gym. Now, if you go to a place and it's, hey, is coaching important to you? Meaning, do you want somebody to know what your goals are? Do you want somebody to know what your struggles are? Do you want somebody to be able to help you to get to that goal faster than you would get there on your own? Well, then, if the answer to that is yes, well, then avoid the big volume players. Start avoiding places like your Fit Bodies. Start avoiding places like your Orange Theories. Start looking to your CrossFit gyms. It all comes down to, is the experience that is offered in that facility going to be an experience that you believe you are going to stick to? It's not about who's going to get you most fit. People need to stop thinking that way, and too many coaches think that way. It's, yeah, you could join Orange Theory, but it's not really going to work. Well, it'll work better than the gym that they won't go to on a regular basis, right? Me, for example, at this point in my life, I can't see myself going to any one place on a regular basis. It's not interesting to me. I don't care about how much I can clean and jerk, how much I can snatch, how much I can deadlift, how much I can squat. I couldn't even tell you what any of those numbers are right now. I don't care about keeping my heart in the orange zone. Not interesting. That approval does not excite me. I don't want to dance in class. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't want to get punched in the face every day. But I want to do all of those things. And so maybe the answer isn't one specific gym. But no matter which gym you're walking into, I think that the most important thing is that the people in it are professional. So kind of put your obvious glasses on and judge a book by its cover. Sorry, that's reality. We talk about trust in our seminars all the time, right? And what the first thing you need to do to earn somebody's trust on purpose is to have high propriety. You need to look like you belong in the role in which somebody is coming to seek your expertise for.
How do you dress? How do you act? How do you stand? How do you talk? How do you look? How do you smell?
Yes. If you walk into a place and the person you're greeted by doesn't seem like somebody who you can trust right off the bat, stay for 5 minutes and see if you were wrong. you're probably not. Find another spot. And after that, it just becomes, now it's a question of when you actually start the experience, are you enjoying it? Do you feel taken care of? Do you feel valued by the people who run that business? Are the coaches who work there happy? Generally speaking, are they happy? Or do they seem stressed? And those are the things that you're looking for next. You want a place in which the ownership of the business seems to believe that their most important client is actually their staff, and that their staff's most important client is you. Staff needs to feel fulfilled and taken care of and safe and inspired if they're going to be able to create that kind of environment.
While you're talking about whether or not you feel valued, can you talk a little bit about values in the gym?
Yeah, ask for the moon. Ask for everything. And allow a gym to be able to provide it to you. If you don't have a background in fitness, it's overwhelming. Even if you do, it's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming space because there's so much technology and equipment and methodology mix matches out there that it's hard to know what's right and what's wrong and what's best and what's bad. Ask somebody to provide you with all of the support that your membership affords you. That's what you're paying for. So if you join a CrossFit gym, let's say, for example, and you're telling your aunt to go join a CrossFit gym 40 minutes away from where you live and right near where she lives because you looked at it, tell her that in the meeting when she's thinking about signing up, she should say to the person she's talking to, these are the things that I want to be able to accomplish. The reason that I'm thinking about joining this gym is because I believe that you're going to be able to help me accomplish those. What I believe I need in order to accomplish these things is accountability. I need somebody to check in with me every week and make sure that I'm actually showing up to the gym. If I miss a week, I need somebody to call me. Like, I know I shouldn't. I know I should be disciplined enough to come, but I'm joining this gym and paying this money because I want to make sure that somebody else is holding me accountable. Will you do that? If they say, no, you have to, don't join. I want to make sure that somebody assesses me. I've never had somebody assess me, so I don't know why some things hurt. I don't know why some things feel good. I don't know why my fitness has been where it's always been. I don't even know where my fitness is. For all I know, it could be way healthier or way more unhealthy than I thought. Will you assess me before I start? No, we just don't join. Have your minimum standards for what you will ask a gym to do for you.
Okay. And unless there's anything that's jumping out at you around hallmarks of what goes really well, I would love for you to unpack for us what, in your opinion, are the top red flags that people need to make sure they notice and pay attention to when seeking a gym.
Well, before we get to the red flags, there's a lot of hallmarks that we can add, but I feel like it'd be overwhelming for people to hear them all.
Okay.
It becomes this long list of, coaches are smiling, coaches are happy, coaches are talking to each other, members know each other's names, somebody greets you kindly when you walk in the door. The laundry list is so long. You have to take some intuition into this. You have to be able to walk into a place and be like, yeah, this is it. I feel good here. That's got to be a part of it. If you walk into a place and you're like, ooh, I don't know, it's on them. And for those of you out there who are in fitness businesses that other people deem to be intimidating, get over it. It's your job to make your intimidating fitness offering approachable. How can you do that? Can you create a private room where somebody walks in and talks to you one-on-one before they ever see something go on in class? How can you do that? That's not their fault. It's your job.
The impression is yours to curate.
Yeah, as the fitness business owner. That's plain and simple. So use your intuition. When you walk into a place, does it feel right? Does it feel safe? Does it feel inspiring? Does it feel clean?
Do you feel understood?
All of those things. Now, the red flags to look for. These things, it's funny enough, these things are going to come from my gyms. These are things that I didn't know any better when I was doing them. And so I want people out there who are doing these things now to know the examples that I'm providing are the red flags that the me of today walking into the gym that I owned would have seen. Okay? One of the red flags would be you walk into a cluttered space. There isn't a clear path for you to walk in and go from door to talking to somebody. That just says that there's no process in that business. You might get a good workout some days, you're going to get a bad workout other days, and let's just see what happens. You walk into the gym and it's dirty. There's dust on the countertop. It smells like a hockey bag. It's dirty. Another thing to look for is the bathroom has an out of order sign on it. And it was there last week too. Get that shit fixed. A business fixes that. Another thing to look for is it easy for you to determine who's running this group right now? Who is in charge here? Can you stand there looking at the workout floor and say, oh, that's the person in charge? Because I can tell because they look like the person in charge. They're controlling the room like the person in charge. They're dressed like the person in charge. If the answer to that is no, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Are people being coached? Meaning, if you're watching people work out, is there somebody responsible for improving the way in which they work out? Is it obvious to you with your novice eye that somebody is helping somebody else do better? If the answer is no, it's a red flag. You're not looking for someone to cheer for you. That's not what you're paying real money for. You can go join a commercial gym and do your own thing for that. Put headphones on and just let it be crowd noise. So those are some of the big red flags I would look for. Another one is when you sit down to discuss price, do they negotiate? If they negotiate with you, leave. Professionals don't negotiate on price. These are the prices. They are the prices because they know what they need to charge you to deliver the quality of service that you expect and deserve. And if they charge you less, they don't know what it takes to help you.
And might not be able to.
Yeah. So those are the big red flags that I would be looking for. The rest of them kind of get into the weeds. They are around the idea of when you start asking for what you think you need in order to be successful. Obviously, if they tell you, no, we don't do that here, that's a blatant red flag, leave. And that doesn't even mean that they're a bad gym. It just means that they're a bad gym for you. There are some gyms that don't do assessments at all, that go straight from you joined right into class, go for it. I believe there's a place for that. It's not a place I want to live in, but there's a place for that.
So it sounds like it's going to be different for each person depending on what they want. And it starts with the member to make sure that they have a very clear picture of what they want to have happen for themselves. And then to find the place that is going to service that. And on the other side of that, it's making sure that ownership and staff are doing everything that they can to identify who they want to be, who they're going to serve and how they're going to do it, and to create the professional environment and processes necessary to make people feel like a well taken care of customer.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, send this podcast to your aunt.
All right. I'll do that.
Perfect.
Turn pro guys.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Active Life Podcast. If you did, please be sure to head to wherever you listened to it and give us a quality review, as well as 5 stars if you can spare them. If you want more from us, feel free to follow all of our social media accounts at Active Life Professional, Active Life RX, and Dr. Sean Pastuch on Instagram. Remember, at Active Life, we believe that the healthcare clinic of the future is the gym, and the healthcare provider of the future is the coach. We also believe that future is